Well, good evening, everybody. It's kind of a late evening right now. I'm getting ready to shut down and turn in. Um, Glad you're here. Welcome to the channel. I just, it's kind of dark while I'm walking into the back of the house. But I got some stuff that I just need to get off my chest. And I don't know, it's been bothering me. So um, I'm going to talk about it a little bit, and maybe it'll help me work through it. So, the end of last week, I saw a posting on Facebook about my sister, my natural sister. My family, I have three brothers and three sisters, but only one sister and one brother are my natural. We have the same mother and father. The older kids, they have a different father than I do. Um, there was a Facebook post that I caught. I don't get on Facebook a lot, but I was just perusing through Facebook and came across a post from my niece, actually my niece's daughter, so my niece second removed, I don't know. Anyway, saying, asking for prayers about her grandma, because she was in the hospital. And I'm going, what's going on? Because that's my sister. And so I got in touch with them, and it turns out that apparently she has a bad case of COPD. I don't know a lot about it, but she kept going through episodes of not getting enough oxygen. They gave her a CPAP machine, so she'd have help with oxygen at night. But apparently, my niece, they have a 2-story house. She had found my sister on the floor, unresponsive. And so she started administering CPR and called 911. And 911 got there and took over. Now this is all what I've been told. So they're in Indianapolis, so they're not around here. But they were doing CPR for a minute, and the paramedics turned to my niece and said, we're going to have to call it. And then after they said that, one of them had gotten a heartbeat from my sister. So they transported her to the hospital, and she had spent, this happened last Thursday. And they put her into ICU, and they put her on a ventilator, life support basically. And the only things that they really got was a little pupil dilation and what else? Maybe slight responses to pain stimulation. Well, over the weekend, it got worse. Her eyes stopped dilating, and not really responsive at all. And what they said what happened was apparently she had passed out from lack of oxygen, and that she had suffered a traumatic brain injury due to lack of oxygen. Well, it sounded like, things aren't going well, actually, at all. But over the weekend, she has shown some slight improvement. And apparently they took a CAT scan when they first admitted her into the hospital, and they took another CAT scan today to compare to see, if there was any change or anything. Now her responses, some things improved slightly, but she's still demonstrating all the characteristics of the severe brain damage. brain injury. So when they're talking to her, there's music or loud noises, she might, my sister might open her eyes, but she doesn't do any tracking at all. She can breathe a little bit on her own, but not 100%. She's still on a ventilator, and it basically, if she doesn't breathe, I guess it's got some type of sensor that it breathes for her. I don't know how those things work. So yeah, it's kind of hard to know what's going to happen. In all this, you know, when we were younger, we weren't real close. Well, we were closer than we are now, but she ended up moving back away from the family. She moved all the way back to Indiana and just totally disconnected from the whole family. So we haven't really had a relationship. We'd talk on the phone every now and then, text every now and then, share Facebook posts every now and then. Well, finally last year, when I took the trip with Tony, my sister, my older sister, went out 3 weeks. We saw everybody in the family. We traveled back to our tribal, land out in Michigan. We're a member of Sault Ste. Marie tribe of Chippewa Indians, and we went back for the powwow, and then we just drove around and visited everybody. Family up in Montana. Went and saw my sister in Indiana and cousins on my father's side of the family. Yeah, and we stopped and saw my sister that's currently in the hospital. She did not look good, and she's only 2 years older than I am, but she looked awful. Now, she is a major drinker and a major smoker, and that's where the COPD comes from. At least that's what I'm hearing. But the drinking is what's really doing it to her. As a recovering alcoholic myself, I know that alcohol can really kill your body. It really can. But anyway, she looked really bad, and the kids and her husband kept professing, well, she does this, she gets it, she can get alcohol here and to get alcohol there, and it's just really, really. If you really cared, you'd work harder at it. Well, I told him there were steps that you can take, and said she had her mobility was limited at that time, and she can't go anywhere. Somebody's providing her with the stuff, so yeah, we give them kind of a hard time about it, but we were pretty. My older sister and I, we were pretty upset about the situation. Um, yeah, there was no reason for what was going on to go on, but anyway, I've always tried to keep some type of relationship with her because she's my natural sister. Either some type of communication one way or another. Now, everybody in the family set down the rules that don't call me when you're drinking. Don't call me when you're drunk. Call me when you're sober. So she just never called because she was always drinking. But there were some times that she had called and, or I'd call her, yeah. Ever since the trip, because my older sister and I, we became very concerned about her, just the whole situation. And so I've been keeping in closer contact with her. Like I said, she's only 2 years older than I am. And she looked 20 years older than I am now. That's how bad she looked, or looks. With all this, I just don't know how to feel. I think about it and everything, and I want to break down. I really do. And I know that I've got myself in a depressive funk over this, just because I'm shoving whatever I can eat in my mouth, which is a lot of meat. I'm overeating a lot of pork rinds, and then I'm just kind of isolating a lot. Um, Now they did say that they're going to monitor for the next few days. And Thursday, they'll make a decision whether or not they'll remove her from life support altogether. It doesn't look good. You know, a miracle would save her right now, and that's the only thing that would, I think. Modern medicine can't save her at this point. I don't believe so. I really don't. So, been doing a lot of praying over it, and I think everybody has really. You know, it kind of makes me, no, it doesn't even make me think about myself and my own mortality. But I just keep thinking she's only 2 years older than I am. 2 years. And it's just sad to think. Anyway, it's kind of a sad topic. I know it's, but I just need to get it off, get it off my chest, get it out there. And I know sharing it here on YouTube is like sharing it with somebody face to face. I don't really have anybody that I feel I can share with because they always make it about themselves. And it's just like I'm trying to deal with my own feelings, and I don't want to hear what's going on with you when I'm talking about stuff like this. I just want to express my feelings and get it out, and deal with it and process. But every time I talk to anybody about it, especially my older sister, it's, they always seem to make it about themselves. And it's just like, okay, I'm just not going to talk about it then, because I need to, what, for lack of a better word, vent it myself. Yeah. Anyway, sorry for the sad topic, but I just had to get it out there. I had to get it off my chest. I don't know exactly how to feel, and I go up and down, I go through these little waves. I try not to think about it too much, try to stay busy. But it's really sad, because she's only 2 years older than me. 2 years. That's not a lot of time. I know it's hitting my little brother hard. At least I think it is. I remember he told me a long time ago that he wouldn't go to any more funerals. He wouldn't, um, go see people while they're alive. And I'm a firm believer of that. But he actually said that he's going to go out there for the service, and it's just like, oh crap, really? So I know he's taking it hard. It was the three of us. We were the youngest three, and yeah. At one point when we were younger, we were close, but I don't know. I don't know. I won't be able to go to a service. Oh my gosh, airline tickets are so much. I mean, $500-600 for an airline ticket. Just like, okay, well, I won't be going, and it takes too long to drive. So it'd take me 2 days to get out there, 2.5 days. I don't know. I didn't clock it, but I got so much going on here. I don't know what I'm going to do. Yeah. Anyway. Well, the good news is we're making progress on the house, and I'll do an update on that one. I'll do an update video on that one. I've had all this stuff with my sister going on for the last several days, and I was going to put up a couple of videos, and it's just, I've been so distracted by what's going on with my sister. So I'll get caught up there. Anyway, thanks for listening and let me share my feelings about everything and vent. Not really venting, but yeah, it's kind of venting for me. Yeah. But I appreciate y'all and thanks for listening and you have a good evening and I'll catch you on the next video. Have a good night.